This is Adventure World. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If this is more than your first time, welcome back. This episode is going to talk about the Columbine Lake Hike, which is a great hike in Grand County, Colorado, just outside of Tabernash. If you guys know the area, you probably can envision how beautiful it is. This hike is what we call intermediate hike. It's an out and back hike to the lake and back. 6.4 miles out and back. The highest elevation gain you're going to have is 11,060 feet, and you start out at a low of 10,088 feet. You get about 978 feet of vertical elevation, just shy of 1,000 vertical feet. It's got amazing views. It's got all kinds of different terrain to hike to, creeks. You're going to see moose. You're going to see colors change. If you go in a few weeks from now, you're going to see all kinds of great stuff on this hike. A couple things you'll need to know. You need to grab a day pass at a kiosk that's about halfway up the Meadows Creek Reservoir Road. You'll see it as you come back on a switchback. There's a big sign and it says permits required. If I remember correctly from every time we've gone up there, you will need a debit card or a credit card to make that payment. So keep that in mind as well. Parking can be found at the Junco Lake Trailhead, but on summer weekends that fills up pretty quickly and you could end up parking way down the road around the bend from that actual parking lot. There are some pit restrooms there as well and information cabin, which is next to the parking lot. If you've got questions, you can ask the rangers when you get there. Make sure you prepare for all the Colorado elements as usual. And without further ado, let's go take a peek at this hike.
So, are you excited for the hike?
Yeah.
Earlier, said you wanted to see some pikas.
I do.
So where do you think we need to go to see some pikas?
Rocks.
Very nice, very nice. I think that's going to be the end on the Sage interview. So, are you excited for the hike?
Yes. Where are we going?
We're going to Columbine Lake up in near Winter Park.
Yeah.
Yep. So, you were saying earlier that you are nervous about this drive, and it was from a past memory. What is that past memory?
This is true. I was driving the extra long extended cab pickup truck. Extended bed, excuse me. And it was very narrow feeling in that big vehicle. And it was hard to pass other cars as they were coming towards us, so it made me nervous.
That makes sense. I think that's the end on the Katrina interview.
Really? All right, Willow, now it's your turn for the interview.
Okay.
Okay, are you getting excited for this hike?
We didn't do it last year, so I've been waiting.
Yes, we didn't.
So I've been waiting for a year to do this hike because I really love this hike.
Tell me what your favorite part of the hike
My
is.
favorite part is the dangerous parts where you're about to fall off of a log, but you don't because it's safe. But it's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen off a log?
Not on accident.
Have you ever seen a pika?
I have not, but I hope to see one.
Have you ever fallen into the lake?
No.
Alright, today's your lucky day then. There's for everything. What do you think about the little cabin that we come across?
I like the little cabin.
Chipmunk?
No.
Chipmunk, move!
That's
That's
a
a
rock.
That's better, right?
So the cabin, there's like this window. It's no glass in the window, of course. And it looks like a picture frame. So every year we go on this hike, we take a different picture inside this picture frame.
Alright, we'll plan on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Show you the picture later.
I think the road's getting too bumpy. I'm gonna let you narrate what we're trying to navigate here.
What am I narrating?
The video. Tell them about the road
Well,
conditions.
Taking this road up here, although this is actually in better condition than it has been in many other years, highly recommended you don't bring any sort of car, low profile vehicle. You want to have some sort of SUV, and depending on the road conditions and the weather, you might even need all-wheel or four-wheel drive because it can get really muddy, and although you can see right here it's not all that potholes right now, there can be some really big holes you have to drive around or through, and that's why you don't want to have a low profile vehicle, because there's rocks sticking up everywhere. And the last thing you need is a ripped oil pan or anything else, or to get stuck halfway up, because there's not exactly a good way to get out of here for help. So like this rock right here.
Go over it, Dad.
I did. And they definitely have done some work on this road. It's much better than in years
See
past.
all the rocks on the sides that have been pushed out?
Yeah, and it's a lot more smooth than it used to. It's a lot more smooth than it usually is, for sure. But still not a fast drive past Meadows.
Yep.
And you can peek. There's
Try to slow down
camping options. Can't really see. We just passed the tent. But we're in the Indian Peaks recreation area, which kind of means you can camp anywhere as long as you have a permit. We're here on a Tuesday morning. It's very quiet as far as number of people. We usually are here on the weekend when it's just full of people.
Yeah, it can get really busy. Okay, so this is coming up on the Junco Trailhead parking lot, as you can see. And as we were talking about earlier, this road is generally pretty bumpy. It's rutted out, it's rocky. It gets a lot of work out from the winter driving and just traffic in general. It's a dirt road that's semi-maintained, but there's some huge potholes, rocks, and other things that can get there. And you just want to make sure you have a high-profile vehicle. If ideally you want all-wheel drive or even four-wheel drive, like we have here, certainly is highly recommended, shall we say. That way you get there safely and without tearing up too much of your vehicle. It's definitely a little more of an off-road drive, especially past the first lake. So keep that in mind as you head up there. Otherwise, this is where you get to the parking lot. This is where you can park. Weekends, it's really busy, so you may park down the road or just get there early. Otherwise, find a spot, go to the bathroom if you need to, grab your stuff, and go.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. He's racing. Oh.
You're already going to lose. All right, so here's the Junco Lake Trailhead map. It'll explain where the Columbine Lake is, how to get there. There are several trailheads from this parking lot. Gives you all your stats that you need to know and tells you what to be aware of and what to look out for. Make sure you take a look at that sign on the way up.
Kevin to follow us.
Kevin's the bird? Is
Kevin's the big
Kevin's
bird.
a snipe.
So who?
A snipe.
That's the name of the bird.
Oh.
That's the breed. Species. Yeah.
Willow?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, and like Katrina said, we didn't do this hike last year. I'm noticing a couple things are different already. A lot more fallen trees that have been moved aside, and even that older little bridge there has been kind of worked over. I think there was a little bit of flooding here last summer, a quick little one. I can't remember though, so don't quote me on that. But definitely some more fallen trees. We definitely had a lot more late season snow up here. Even right at the end of May, there was a good 25 inches of snow that fell. So everything's much more lush and green and wet, which is good, because that means we're out of the fire danger zone, as we say. It's way better than last summer, so hopefully that keeps up. It's been really rainy up here, especially the last few weeks, so hopefully that all continues the rest of the summer as well. Let's go.
Dang it. That can follow us now.
There were some nasty roots yesterday at Trestle, like that. There's some nasty roots in that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you could
Green
see
one
where
was
it had
like
been
the
raining the
worst
last
one.
few weeks.
Well, to be honest, Greenwald is like harder than the blue trails.
Well, next time, Sage will take you on Cheyenne.
Me? No,
Is
Sage.
your name Sage?
Yes.
Oh, well then, yes, you.
I'm Willow. I'm Willow.
Well, we can take turns. Or we can set up.
All right, this is one of the off trails for one of the several old cabins that are sort of standing.
This is the picture frame area I was talking about earlier.
Willow's window.
Yeah.
If you come around from the other side, we'll do a time. We'll set it up for all four of us to go into the picture frame.
Okay, about 2 miles in. Where are we at, Blondie?
1.7.
Okay, I guessed. 1.7 miles in. The trail gets a little smaller, but there's less of an elevation gain at this point. You kind of do it in very erratic intervals. But you start opening up into the meadows, and you guys will see on this video that some really cool scenery as you get into the meadows here. So we got another half mile or so when we get the cross part of the meadow on some really cool stones, and then we make the trek up through the rocky area, which again, another steeper interval, and then glory at the top. It's really awesome. So stay tuned. Looks like the weather's gonna hold for us.
Say stay tuned, and that's where the ad break will show up.
All right, from a distance, right after that last segment, bam, we got a moose family up ahead here.
They're looking at us.
So they're definitely watching while they're also listening to the really loud hikers coming down.
It's good that they're loud.
They're right up there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And they're just chilling. We're gonna go take this trail up and around. Finger in there, that way. And we'll be up above them here in about 10 minutes or so. This is a cool part though. I do like this. It's definitely been muddier here before. But, I mean, considering the amount of moisture that has been up here the last few weeks even, it's not nearly as muddy as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Hadn't even thought about it, actually. Some years we've done it like in June.
Right, we've done it much earlier, yeah. Get the earlier runoff. Hi.
Hi. We're just pointing out that there's a lot of fallen trees since last year. And there were a few wind events up here where it knocked over swaths of trees. And then there's been a lot of trail work where they've been cutting back all the trees off the trail. It's pretty impressive to see it be so recent.
There's a mosquito in my
They
ear.
just told me rocks are super hard dirt.
Yeah, but this is, wow, this is impressive through here to see it like this. I bet you this was one of those wind events for sure.
Are you not worried about that in school?
What are you doing?
Testing out some dirt. Okay, now is when we get into the most interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot of fall. Section other than the top. This is a really cool spot for waterfall photo ops. Rinse your feet, you know, whatever you want to do. It's great. It's a great spot. Just to take a snack break even.
Come do it with me.
Yep.
Where are we going?
The closer they get, the faster they move. All right, so we've lost Sage and Willow. This is that slick rock meadow I was describing. It's so cool. It leads right up into the lake. When Sage and Willow get here, they're gone. Super cool part of the trail.
There's a trail that goes to the left. Not right. Saves that.
Yeah, stay on the slick rock. So here's the area I knew was going to be muddy. And it's real muddy.
Always.
It's always muddy. This is like four-season runoff through here. Give us the stats.
Okay. Let's see. We took an hour and 39 to get up here.
Okay.
Elevation gain of 952 feet.
Okay.
And it's 3.36 miles to this point.
Okay. Which is your main stop. Now, if you want, we've done many times, you can continue out this way on the trail, up and around, all the way up. into that saddle there, which is really cool. You can go all the way around via this kind of green belt. There's a trail there too. Just make sure heading that way, stay on the trail. See, it's right there. All the way up there. And there's another cool waterfall generally. And this year for sure, again, if we had some late snow, definitely be a cool waterfall.
It's not gonna make it. Sure.
All right, guys, that does it for another adventure here on Adventure World. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out, and make sure you guys share the video if you did enjoy it. That only helps us as well. If you feel obliged, don't be shy and subscribe to the channel and look for more videos as they come out and all the adventures that we have. And like the great Shane McConkey once said, ready, set, see ya.